Okay, I think we're live. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Hello, welcome. So, the way I'm gonna do this, monthly Weaboo Round-Up thing that I'm doing now. What this is, it's basically like a super low effort way for me to get my thoughts out about stuff I've played or seen or heard, and all that jazz. Because I used to be my name's Alex, by the way. For just like to get everything over with. You know, all the normal introduction stuff. Because if I'm gonna do this, it's I'm gonna do this at the end of, wow, this is already a mess. I'm gonna do this at the end of every month. I'm gonna live stream it like the last Friday or Saturday of each month. And yeah, I'm gonna ramble for about an hour, I think. I'm not really gonna look at the time. I'm gonna ramble for however long I want to. Then I'm gonna, if anyone's still in chat, I'm gonna chat a bit with chat. So yeah, I used to be on a podcast with my friends, the Sketchy People podcast, it was called. We'd be talking about like artist stuff, and occasionally bring up like shows we've watched that have influenced us or whatever. But this is just about me. This is just about me and the video games I played and the stuff I watched that I have thoughts about. Yeah. So I'm gonna give my best to like not look at chat at all, even though it's on screen. I'll try to not look at it until the very end, where if anyone's still around, I'll answer questions and everything. Because I'm not sure if I'm gonna, like, if the demand is there, if anyone cares at all, I can put it up on Spotify and everything. Because this is supposed to be like audio content. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what else I can say for the introduction. I have tea with me right now. It's what is it? It's apple tea with vanilla. So apple vanilla tea, and I put 2 spoons of sugar in it because I'm not the healthiest cat boy alive. Yeah. So I'm gonna, if you ever want to know how something is spelled, or you want to read along what I'm talking about, there's a link. There's a Google Docs link in the description with the outline. This was supposed to be for myself only, so I can like look at notes of what to talk about and remember stuff. But I don't care. You can look at it. Okay, let me type thing on screen. I didn't plan anything, by the way, because I didn't want to like procrastinate on anything. This is just the laziest thing, the laziest way I could do this. I did make the logo. Okay, I did make the logo, but I did it in like a draw pile, like one evening, like 2 days ago. I'm pretty satisfied with it, but it could have been a proper logo. But I also don't care too much, so yeah. All right, let's start with the manga. This month has been kinda because I usually read manga at school or when I'm traveling. Like I read it at school, either when we don't have an assignment right now or there's like a long break, I don't talk to people too much, so I just sit down, read manga on my phone. Um, which, uh, yeah, I can't bring myself to read manga if I'm just in my room all day in front of my desk. So I put in some manga that I also read like uh, around end of December ish. Um, so let's see. The first one I put down here is Oshinoko. It's I read it this week. There's only like 32 chapters out at the moment. It's surprisingly amazing. So it's kind of new-ish. It caught my attention because I really like the art style. And yeah, it's about like I don't want to give away too much because the prologue is really different from the rest. Like the first few chapters, the kind of setup which is needed, but also like they definitely do not set the right expectations for what it's gonna be. So it's like a mishmash of genres, and it's super nice. I love all the characters. They don't, even though it's like about idol stuff, as much that's as much as I want to give away. Um, Even though it's about idol stuff, they and like yeah, and like acting stuff, they don't introduce way too many characters at once and expect you to like somehow memorize them, which I'm really bad at. Like reading, I don't know. Even Act Age, I'm probably gonna get. It's probably not the best idea to talk about Act Age, considering what happened. But like, even stuff like that, it was really difficult for me to follow along and like remember what face had what name and stuff. And like, I remember it being kind of bad in Promised Neverland, where I kind of like just like right when it was finishing, I finally got the names of everyone correct, which was the thing that happened. Yeah, Oshinoko, super good. It has like really interesting, um, it's like really interesting visual cues. Like it has like things where like uh, there's like character design aspects to some of the characters that like you don't know. Where you don't know. Do people in canon in the world actually see that, or is it like a metaphorical thing for the viewer? Which is pretty cool. It looks cool, um, and it makes good moments even better. Mm, yeah, highly recommend. Don't want to give too much away. Oshinoko. It's really nice. The art style is super good too. And the, the writers seem to know what they're talking about. Like being a weeb, you kind of experience or like learn about idol culture, what it's like in Japan and stuff. But there's been still like a lot of things that I never heard of that are pretty interesting, and it's pretty cool. Um, Next manga I read, it wasn't good. It's called Anedoki. It's like I read it because it was like historically interesting, kind of, if that makes sense. Because it's like a goofy, etchy rom com, uh, harem slice of life school thing for boys, where it's like, oh, hot like some hot one-chan suddenly came into the life, like started living with this weird 14-year-old boy, and it's not good. It's not good. I yeah, it looked kind of interesting, but there was not much to it. The art was kind of okay, and it wasn't like it wasn't like uncomfortably. It wasn't. It didn't make me super uncomfortable with the ecchi aspect. Yeah, I read that. I brute forced myself, like reading through all of that in like an evening. Another thing I read recently is Spy X Family, and maybe some of you have heard of that. It's about like it's about like a family. How do I say this? I'm definitely kind of bad at like explaining plots, at like giving summaries. But maybe I'll get better in like a year after I've done a few of these thingies. But yeah, Spike's family, like that's a family that like, so that's this spy spy man, and he has to like infiltrate another country and like assassinate someone, and the way he goes undercover is, so the way the best way for him to go undercover is to form a family inside the new country to not be suspicious. So he like goes on a grand adventure to like find a wife and then adopt a kid, and it's and the wife he turns out finding is like also like an assassin, a secret assassin, a secret hitman that's like really out for blood and enjoys killing. And then they like form a family, not because they love each other, but because it's like beneficial for both of their jobs, so no one's suspicious of them. And then like it seemed pretty grounded up to that point, which is like a chapter in. And it turns out the daughter they pick up from an orphancy can like read other people's minds, which I didn't know before I picked it up, and that was really it's so wholesome. It's so wholesome. I highly recommend Spy X Family. I was a bit worried about like the mind reading aspect, because I remember an anime from like years back called what was it called? I keep forgetting the name because it was like so forgettable. There was like an orange haired girl. Maybe I can look it up on my phone real quick. It was also like about mind reading, and it was like a high school thing. And the first episode was amazing, but it fell apart real quick. It was just like a normal boring slice of life school thing. Let's see if I can find this. Kotora-san. Yeah, it wasn't good. Yeah, but that was Spy X Family. Pretty cool. Can't wait to read more of it, because there's not too much out right now. Let me take a sip of my tea. I'm taking longer on this than I expected. I have so much stuff to get through. Right. Another thing I read like through the New Year's was Jagan with a lot of A's. I had it like saved on my phone app, on my manga reading app, for quite a while, and I was finally like, okay, I need to get through this. It's been too long, and I want to know what's up. And it's like, it's very similar to Gans, I'd say. Like in the same way that it's kind of edgy, and I don't know. It's like edgy. It's about superpowers. It's about like an alien virus turning people into bad guys, giving them like my hero type quirks. And I mean, I got through it, so it's not super boring. And maybe someone might enjoy it much more than I did. Like people, I guess it's comparable to like Deadman Wonderland, kind of. Uh, yeah, has some cool hype moments, but none of the characters are likable. So it like threw up interesting like questions about like the main character being like a policeman, but he enjoys shooting bad guys. So and the way like the virus works, the this weird alien virus that gives people superpowers, it like unlocks the people's deepest desire. So the policeman who liked shooting, and that's why he joined the police. He like can transform his arm into a big gun. Um, and yeah, normal classic shonen stuff. All right, there was Jagan. Another thing that got me really excited that I really enjoyed that I read was Fire Punch. That was the manga by the guy who made Chainsaw Man. I don't remember his name. But you guys probably know Chainsaw Man. It's like the hunt thing right now. It's super good. But yeah, Fire Punch is fucking. It's incredible. I absolutely recommend it. Like the way the guy writes stories, it's like crazy. Like reading through interviews of his, it's like this guy, he doesn't think. He like he's you know the archetype of like people that can like do everything correct, that are like super strong and stuff, but they're dumb. They don't have any the brains. It's that guy. He just turns his brain off. He does stuff, and it turns out amazing. He's a genius. Yeah. I know Fire Punch. I don't know how to sell you on this. It's like it's even spoiling the first chapter would be like a massive spoiler, because it was like I only read it because I wanted to read more of that guy's stuff after catching up with Chainsaw Man. So I checked it out, and like the first chapter was like in a single chapter more amazing than most things I have ever like read or seen. It was incredible, and like the quality didn't drop. It's so good. Um, yeah, the premise is about the guy, like a guy who. So it's pretty similar to like the normal world, but it's kind of it plays like in an ice age, and people have developed like there's like rare people that also have like superpowers, but they're a bit more grounded and realistic. And the main character has like his superpower is regeneration, so his body parts just heal when something happens to him. And basically, without giving too much away, the guy shows up, like the bad guys show up into his tiny village. Um, and one of the guy's superpower is he can like he's like a firebender. He can like throw fireballs and stuff. But his flames, they don't stop until whatever he sets on fire is like burnt down to ashes. So so he like attacked the village, and there's this boy who always regenerates. So he gets set on fire, and it never stops. And I don't want to give away more, but it gets super crazy. Like the scale keeps growing and growing. And there's no unanswered questions about anything. It's so good. I really enjoy it. Yeah, please check out Fire Punch. Okay, cool. The last one, the last manga I can mention is I I started rereading Horimiya. which is like a super fun. It's a super fun rom-com. It's like you hear it has like all the genres that sound unappealing, like rom-com, school, slice of life. It's about dumb teenagers. Like the expectations were low, but it's so wholesome. It's so much fun. It's so heartwarming. It's so nice. It's just I don't even know how to describe it further, because that's what it is. It's just like a romance story about a boy and a girl at school, and it's great. It's great. It's so good. I started rereading it because right now in the current season there's an anime airing, and the adaptation, it's pretty good. It's very good. Um, and yeah, I don't know. There's like one of these manga that never gets boring. Like I could reread this forever, over and over. It's it might end up being my favorite manga, and I can't wait. Can't wait for the new chapter every single week. Uh, can't wait. It's so good. So yeah, let's go over to the anime section of this. Let me change the text on screen. Okay. Another reminder is I'm not looking at chat because this is supposed to be like an audio thing only, kind of. I just ramble, and then after I'm done with this, I don't know how long I'm gonna take. I don't want to drag this out for super long, but yeah. At the end, if anyone's still around, I'll look at chat. I'll look at chat. Yeah, and in the description there's an outline with all the stuff that I'm talking about if you want to look it up. Yeah, let's go to the anime. To the anime. Because, yeah, this is the first time in a while that I'm watching seasonal anime again. It's been like, pretty sure it's been a whole year since I'm properly watching stuff again. And it's so nice. There's so much good stuff this season. Yeah, I mentioned Horimiya. Adaptation, fucking amazing. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's very true to the manga. Looks great. Looks super pretty. The music's amazing. The voices sound exactly how I imagined them. It's a bit strange to see like the actual hair colors of the characters. But yeah, not a big deal. It's great. Next up, Jujutsu Kaisen, which is still going from the last season. Not gonna lie, I watched like the 15 episodes. I think that's like 16 or 17 out by now. I think I'm gonna drop it. It's a shonen. It's a shonen. That's the main character. It's sure the main character. There sure are jokes. I don't know what to say. It looks good. It looks really good. That's one thing. So the visuals definitely kept me going compared to the bit of that I read of the manga. Yeah, super pretty. Nice opening and ending. Cool dancey ending with loose animation. Really nice. But yeah, the premise was kind of cool, but I'm not interested in where this is going at all. So I'll leave it at that. Beastars Season 2. I finished the manga last month, or like 2 months ago. It's so good. It's so good. Beastars is so good, and I'm really glad they're putting effort into the anime too. I wish the opening was as good as season 1, but it's still good. It's still amazing. The show looks so unique and nice. I love Beastars. If you ever want to talk about Beastars, please feel free to DM me or something. I like Beastars a lot. Someone like a few days ago recommended Beast Complex to me, which is by the same mangaka, and like it's a thing she did before Beastars. So I might check that out. I'm trying to look up on my phone like the mangaka of Beastars, because she's like the daughter of some big guy who made something. Yeah. The mangaka of Beastars, she's the daughter of the guy who made Baki, which everyone tells me it's super good. So I'll check it out at some point. Yeah, Beastars good. Beastars good. Next up, Dr. Stone Season 2. I kind of forgot about it. Kind of forgot it was happening until like 2 or 3 weeks into the season. But I don't know. I didn't read the manga like I was planning to, but it's kind of like, I heard people say that it's like it's whatever. It's a Shonen Jump thing. But I think it's amazing. Like, I was unsure of what I think of Dr. Stone, like around mid season 1, because it's like very formulaic. They like oh, there's a new problem. Let's make a new modern day thing, but without any technology. With our bare hands. Yeah, it's good. I really like it by now. Like, it's growing on me a lot. Yeah, I like Dr. Stone. And I'm really excited on where it's gonna go from now, because like they have this super good ending of season 1 that set so much up, and I don't know. I'm really interested on like how long it's gonna get, and like what the end goal is of Dr. Stone, how the story is gonna conclude. Yeah. And the music's good too. Dr. Stone pretty good. I think that I speaking of things being good, the new Wicross, like it's spelled Wick Sauce. The new Wicross, Date Alive, Diva Alive, not Date Alive. That was another thing. It's like spelled. It's like one letter off. Like, come on, are they really gonna pull this? Yeah, Wicross. I feel like it flew under the radar for a lot of people, like years back, when was it not completely like ignored by everyone. Because like I saw the first 2 seasons at some point, and I didn't know what to expect, but I ended up loving them so much. Like, for the same reasons that everyone really enjoys like Madoka and stuff. Like these more grim magical type shows. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It has like it's about like an original card game. There's a Rick Ross card game, like in real life. It's like a multimedia franchise. But yeah, the first two seasons were super strong. I really, really enjoyed them, even though I was like kind of unsure if it was gonna be generic or not when starting to watch it. But damn, it was so good. It was so good. I wanna rewatch it again because this new season, it's so generic. Like, yeah, the main girl, like, even after, like, I was hoping that it was gonna get good again after the first episode. The first episode was like super weak because it was like, oh, there's this main girl, and she's like, everyone in the class was friends with her. It was like, and she had friends to play the games with, and she's cute, but she's a bit clumsy. But she gambares really hard, even though people kept bullying her for being like too happy-go-lucky. And I was thinking of like, okay, this is like they're gonna set up a super generic anime with like super generic characters that aren't very deep, and they're gonna shatter all of our expectations like they did with Madoka. But no. Then the next few episodes, they made friends. She made more friends from her class, and with like the mysterious girl, really good girl, really good loner girl with the cold gaze, and oh, she happens to be in her class. Wow, what a surprise! And they're dumping exposition about the teams, the new bad guy of the episode, in school breaks. Uh, it's it's not very enjoyable. Like in the first two seasons of Rick Ross, everything was like super grounded. Like you had this really nice backstory about, like you actually had a backstory of like the girl, which wasn't overplayed or anything. It was like this girl only living with her grandma, uh, playing this card game, finding out that there's much more to it. Like kind of like in Madoka, it was pretty similar to Madoka, and like the battles had like actual consequences outside of the game too. Um, and it had like weird story arcs, if I remember correctly, about like um, it went in on a bit deeper about like people, why they play these games and stuff. And yeah, I don't know, it was super interesting. I really, if you want to watch something cool and new that no one wants to talk about, get some Weep cred. The first two Rick Frost seasons, I think they were called, what were they called? Selector Infected Rick Frost were the first two seasons called. Yeah. They were like movies and stuff, but I don't care, I haven't seen them. Okay. There's only a little bit left for the anime part. Eurocamp season 2. Eurocamp, so comfy, so nice. It's, yeah, you've seen Eurocamp screenshots. Or at least some of the characters around. I don't think I have to say much about it. It's amazing, just as good as it always was. It was really cool that they had this like super tiny like 2 minute 2 minute episode, 2 minute per episode show, like 1 or 2 seasons ago, called Hair Camp. So there's a nice breather. Um, yeah, Your Camp, so nice. It also went in, like in the first couple episodes, they talk a bit more about the backstories, specifically about the main girl, why she started camping. It's so wholesome. Made me want a season 2 of Flying Witch, if anyone remembers that. I I still listen to the music of Flying Witch. It's so nice. Okay, last thing I can like mention a tiny bit is with my friend Graf, with my friend Stefan, I started rewatching Zankyo no Terra. I mean, I've already seen it, but it's his first time. Yeah, Zankyo no Terra. I don't know why people used to hate it. I really like it. And I went in a bit skeptical, because I did read up on some reviews again, where like people say, oh, it's pretentious and the writing was bad. And then they don't go into specifics. But so far, I have not been disappointed at all. And it's like, it's almost even better than I remember. And it was already almost like one of my favorites. Another really good soundtrack. Graf was interested in it because like the soundtrack was inspired by one of his favorite ambient artists. So that's cool. That's pretty much it for the anime section. Yeah. Maybe I'll watch some more this year, because last year it was like all I remember watching was what did I watch last year? I like rewatched some Macross, and I rewatched like my favorite shows like Flip Flappers and stuff, and Kaiba. But I don't know. Rolling Girls was absolutely a highlight. I loved Rolling Girls. I think like I finished that and I just watched it again because it was so good. And the new Digimon reboot, I watched quite a bit of that last year. That was super good too, but then I kind of forgot about it. Okay. Games, video games. Wow, I might actually like make it on time, because I was having like a rough, I wanted a rough estimate of like talking for an hour, and then talking to chat, and it's been like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and I'm through with most of the stuff. Okay, games I've played this month. Over the New Year's, I played Risk of Rain 2, since it got out of early access, and it looked like the perfect game to get on Switch, that I can just like turn on when I don't have anything better to do, play like 1 or 2 runs, waste some time, have a good time. Yeah, Risk of Rain 2, amazing roguelike. What sets it apart from other roguelikes is all the items you get. You can just stack them forever, and they also show up. Like every item you pick up, it's actually like gonna stick to your 3D model, to your character, and it's really fun. Yeah, it's really fun to like set challenges for yourself and stuff. And there's like a shit ton of lore and cool stuff to figure out about the game. After playing it for a little bit, for like a week or something, like the thought that kept popping into my mind was, this game, it kind of feels like the closest thing to like a Made in Abyss game, in terms of like, I don't know what it is, like the world building, maybe, because like you also like, I can't exactly put it to words, but it's like you also progress through like stages, through like different like, you don't go deeper in a place, but you like go through equally as interesting and filled with cool monsters and lore type areas of the planet, and the characters are all like super interesting, and I don't know, it's a good time. You can delve really deep into like all the item descriptions and everything. Even though I'm usually not a fan of reading in games, if it's not like a visual novel or anything, it's cool. Yeah, Risk of Rain 2. I didn't like the first game much, but the second one is dope. Oh, also amazing soundtrack. Like, I didn't know that until listening to interviews about the game and stuff. But the composer of Risk of Rain 2, like it's pretty much the same team that also did Deadbolt. I don't know much about the game, but the soundtrack is so good. Yeah. Next up, Monster Hunter Rise demo. I played it quite a bit. I'm so excited for Monster Hunter Rise. Like, I missed out on World because like I didn't want to drop Generations. I kept playing Generations forever. And oh, I actually didn't put this onto the outline, but I beat Generations. I beat Monster Hunter Generations at last. I looked at my game hours on my 3DS and on my Switch because I transferred the save over, and by the end of beating the single player campaign, I played it for quite a bit over 300 hours. In over like 3 years, 4 years. Yeah. I played a lot of multiplayer too, which doesn't count towards the single player progress, so that's that. You can probably beat it after like 50 hours, probably, if you just want to get through the single player. But yeah, I played the Rise demo on my own a bit, like trying out all the weapons, reading through what they do for once, and like practicing the movement, weirdly enough. That's super fun for me. And I had like a few evenings of playing hours with friends, with a full squad, the multiplayer missions. And oh my god, it's so good. You have the doggos, you can drift with them, you have like a good grappling hook in a game. Can't believe they made everything on it. It's like such an upgrade. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. I'd like to pre-order the collector's edition for once, because I never did that, but I really want to for this game. But I gotta be a bit careful with my finances. So let's see. Maybe someone wants to commission me. Wink wink. Or buy some of my music. Nudge nudge. Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise is good. At the beginning of the month I played quite a bit on my Switch, so that's that. I played through. I got Bit Trip Runner again because that came out for Switch, and I didn't play that in like over 5 years, I'd say, because like my reference for like time span of like when I think of like how do I say this? Like that's my life pre 2015 and post 2015, and that's kind of how I like remember stuff. So yeah, and my Bit Trip Runner is like part of why I got into indie games so big, way back when like Super Meat Boy came out and all that stuff, and I was like just trying to play all the indie games on Steam. That was fun. Yeah, Bittrip Runner, super cool. It's not really a rhythm game, and it's not really an endless runner, but it's like something in between. It's yeah, it's cool. Bittrip Runner is super nice, even though it's a bit unfair. Because like you kind of have to play to the music, but also you kind of cannot play to the music. You just have to play stages over and over again until you like get it right. But yeah, it's kind of about like getting the high score too and all that stuff. It's cool. It's cool. I'm glad it's still good. I replayed Katamari Reroll because, I mean, I kind of never stopped listening to the Katamari soundtrack ever since I found out about the game. It just pops into my head randomly sometimes, more often than I'd like to admit. So I listen to Katamari a lot. And then I remembered at some point this month that I never went back and got all the collectibles. Like in most stages you can collect like a present. You can roll up a present. If you don't know about Katamari, it's super unique. You should look at screenshots or something. You're like a tiny green boy, who's the son of the king of the cosmos, and he tells you to roll around with your big ball, with your big sticky ball, with your Katamari, and roll up everything in your surroundings to make stars, to fill the night sky with more stars. And it's very charming. I love everything about it. Wait, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. I did replay it a few times. Like I just booted up sometimes, and but this time like I actually went and played through pretty much all the levels again, and got like all the cosmetics, all the stuff you can dress your little guy up with. It was a really good time. You can play through the whole game in like an afternoon too. Super cool. Yeah. Let me see. I like glanced over to to my screen, to my stream, to check if everything's fine, and something went wrong with chat, because Bagpain's comment keeps being reposted in my chat window, which is pretty funny. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. It is a bit exhausting to speak so much again, and it's a bit difficult to not have too many people to bounce off of when talking, because my brain very much works in references where someone goes, that reminds me of that kind of thing, and that, and that, and that. And I was like, haha, it's just like this thing from that thing. And that's how I keep going. That's how I exist. Okay, I fixed it. I think I fixed it. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, I didn't even get through half of the games yet. Okay, my tea is almost completely cold, but that's fine. You know, I think I can be a tiny bit real for like a split second, so at least to make like enough to make up an excuse for me pouring way too many hours into a specific game lately. So, you know, sometimes you just want a game to distract yourself. Something where you can just like grind the daily challenges, get all the skins, like hit up some old friends, ask them, hey, do you want to play this or that for like a little bit, catch up on like life stuff while we're at it. That's been Apex for me. This month only, I think I played 60 to 80 hours of Apex, which is, I mean, I want to say this is more than I would like to admit, but I need this. I really needed this. Last year I like barely, so for like the last 2 years, actually, I barely played any shooters, which is kind of grew up on FPS games. I played like most of the games I really liked were FPS games. Like played a ton of Call of Duty 1, 2, and 4, and Modern Warfare 3 later. Play a little bit of like Battlefield Bad Company 2, that was cool. Played quite a lot of like the OG Doom, and I don't know, probably missing stuff. I'm sure like in the course of me doing this monthly thing, I'll keep bringing up the games that I grew up on. But yeah, Apex. I I didn't play many shooters or like many PC games over the last 2 years because I just straight up didn't have a PC and I couldn't afford one until like last summer, like last autumn. So so I played Titanfall 2 because that came out on Steam, and that's like one of my favorite games now. I love Titanfall 2. Everything about it is so good. And I remember how like Apex came out a bit before, like I got to play like a tiny bit of Apex, and then my PC broke, and I couldn't run on my laptop that I had for like school stuff. So I like didn't play any FPS or anything, or like multiplayer games in general. So I got back to Apex, and I played it for a bit, like last season, season 6, and this season they came out with a new map and a new champion, like a new legend, and I've been really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying all the new stuff. It feels like Titanfall 2 because it's by the same people. I love Respawn. It's so good. So, yeah. I don't know. Apex, good distraction. I played it so much that I didn't notice that I almost finished the entire battle pass, the free one. So I scraped up some like pocket change, some like loose change, and got the battle pass, and I'm like one level off of finishing it. And the season's gonna last, and like there's like 2 more days left of the season, so I will make it for sure. And the way the battle pass works in like Apex and some other battle royale games that are free to play is that if you can actually like get through the grind and finish it, it like gives you back all the premium currency to buy one for the next season. So I don't know if I'll get through it again next season, but it's been fun. It's been really fun playing a lot of Apex. I even got back into like actually practicing aiming and stuff. Like actually getting good at like a multiplayer game. Because when you play a single player game, you have like very strict parameters. Like, oh yeah, there's this and this to keep track of to be more efficient. And if I get through this faster, then that means I'm getting better. If I get hit less, that means I'm getting better. But like multiplayer games, there's like so many more subtleties, I feel like, that I don't know. It takes longer to get good at multiplayer games, I feel like. And it's been fun. It's been a bit of a different experience, but I'm glad that I'm feeling progress in something. So yeah, let me know if you want to play Apex. Anyone listening to this, I'm down. I'm so down. Then what else? Picked up Skyrim for real cheap for Switch because I'm a sucker for owning physical games. And I never got through Skyrim very far, so like I got it because it's like a very funny thing to own, like on Switch, because it's Skyrim has been re-released for like pretty much everything, and it's so strange to me. So it's a kind of Skyrim is a really interesting like history piece almost for me, and I wanted to experience that again. Like all the clunkiness of Bethesda games, all the like weird things that, all the weird, really janky, clunky Western RPG mechanics. It's been fun. It's been interesting. I don't think I enjoy it as intended. Like I don't really enjoy the story or the quests, but it's more like of like I feel like a loser when I play the game because I like, instead of like looking at like the game in what in like for like what it is, I like look at how they made the open world compared to like other games, other recent games like Breath of the Wild or something. I like look at the weird foliage assets. I look at like the weird buggy animation, and like how the quests are structured and how you can like why it is that I keep getting lost in these games and I get stuck in weird places, and I don't know. It's kind of fun. I kind of doubt that I finish it because like I ran through the overworld quite a lot, like going through dungeons and stuff. But there's so many like things that are in the game for like the sake of being there. Like the way you like incentivized to like go through dungeons and pick up different stuff, pick up everything to sell it to get better stuff, to craft better stuff and everything, but like you can barely hold anything until it stops you from fast traveling or even sprinting. So everything is like a slog and a hassle on this game. But it's an RPG, so it has to be that way because it's like more quote unquote realistic. Because it's more D&D inspired. So yeah, it's interesting to think about. Maybe I'll finish it someday. Who knows? Yeah, that's Skyrim. That's my take on Skyrim. Okay. Then after like taking a break from Skyrim and Risk of Rain and Monster Hunter, picked up my Vita again because I saw that Pokemon Crystal Clear got a 2.0 version, and someone on Twitter, they made so in 2.0 you can like inside. Wait, actually, let me explain first what Pokemon Crystal Clear is. Because it's so nice. Playing Pokemon Crystal on Game Boy Color is like pretty much my favorite like childhood memory. It was so cool. Still sad that I lost the cartridge that I bought off from my cousin way back. So Pokemon Crystal Clear is the ROM hack for Pokemon Crystal, the Gen 2 game. And it's wild how much is in the game. Like, I don't know how they did it with like the size limitations of Game Boy games and everything. Yeah, there's so many features. Like, oh my god, sorry, the chat box is doing weird things again. I refreshed it now. Maybe it starts being weird when no one types anything in chat for a while. It just keeps repeating the same message or something. But it's not a big deal. Anyways, Pokemon Crystal Clear. Like, it opens up, first of all, like, it opens up the entire map. So it basically makes it an open world game. So you can, like, play any badge in any order, in any region. You can start in any town with, like, there's, like, 8 or 10 preset starters you can pick, aside from the normal ones from Gen 2. But you can also, like, through the website, make, like, customize your own ROM a tiny bit and, like, get a custom starter. For example, like, I'm playing the game with the shiny Vulpix. And yeah, it has, like, so many quality of life stuff, so I would like almost put it, like, above the Gen 4 remakes of Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Cause, like, I don't know how they did it, but even you can have, like, Pokemon follow you. They added sprites for every single Pokemon and animations and text for every single Pokemon up to Gen 2, all the 250 something, to follow you on the overworld. And, like, yeah, you can still talk to them. They do tiny funny animations. They do, like, the funny dancing around. I mean, that's like, my brain is blanking on, like, the specifics, but a lot of stuff has been overhauled, where, like, stuff that's felt slow and janky about the old Pokemon games, it feels better than Sword and Shield. Like, this game, I prefer this old Gen 2 ROM hack much more over Sword and Shield, which I've been sitting on. And I really don't want to play it, but I still have the game that I lent from someone. But that's beside the point. Yeah, they opened up the world. They put in unused stuff. They added new NPCs. You can catch every single Pokemon in the wild. You can and if it's not in the wild, there's, like, cool events that you can do to get some rare Pokemon. And, like, yeah, you can rebattle everyone. They fixed stuff where, like, really weird bugs where, for example, in Gen 2, it used to be that it's supposed to be the way that when you paralyze a wild Pokemon, the catch rate is supposed to go up, so you catch them easy when they, like, sleep or something. And that straight up just didn't work at all. And, like, they fixed that kind of stuff too. But yeah, so with this 2.0 version, they like added more stuff, including custom character sprites. So I saw someone on Twitter who posted a custom character sprite of Riamu from Idolmaster. he put her in the game, and he put out the sprite sheet. So I'm playing with playing as Riamu, role playing as Riamu with a shiny Vulpix. in Pokemon Crystal. And I started in don't remember the town name, with all the Phlegmon. No, wait, that's the German name. Dang. With all the Slowpokes. The Gentoo town with all the Slowpokes. And I can't wait to go through the game, like catch some Pokemon I always wanted, but could never get, like Celebi. And go through the game without knowing what Pokemon I can get on what roads. It's so nice. Like going through a random area and expecting like weak Pokemon, but then there's suddenly a Bulbasaur spawning. And it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm really enjoying my time with Crystal Clear. So yeah, and I was thinking, what system do I have where it would be the comfiest time to play on? And I put it on my homebrewed Vita. So that's what I'm playing on. And because I was playing on that, I like came back to some other games. I started trying to get through Loco Roco, catching up on that. It's super fun. That's like a classic PSP game. Pretty much everyone I know who has a PSP has Loco Roco and Patapon. And then I started playing through the story mode of Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which it's pretty interesting. It's more of a visual novel than, like, it barely has any rhythm game segments, which is kind of sucks, but that also means I can probably get through it pretty fast. So it's nice. I'm really happy to be together with the boys and the girls, have a fun time, see them look at them being idols, and be friends. It's cool. Then I also got into a weird rhythm game that I didn't know before, called DJ Max. I got it because I got it cheap on Steam. DJ Max Respect 5. It's a bit similar to, like, if you know Osu, there's like the Osu Mania mode where you only play with the keys. It's a bit like DDR. Well, it's like notes going. I mean, technically, it's like Beatmania, where you have notes coming from the top and they go to the bottom, and you hit 4 to 9 keys. It's fun. It's fun. What caught my attention about DJ Max is, first of all, they have a Classic Y DLC pack, and I love Classic Y so much. They're super funky, wholesome Korean band. Highly recommend Classic Y. Are they in my? Yeah, they're in my music part section of the outline. Yeah, DJ Max Respect 5. Super clean. It looks so clean. Has such good graphic design, menus going on, and animations. Big fan. And I never played too much Korean stuff, so this is kind of interesting to like have K-pop songs and stuff in the game. So I checked out. So, and since I also was playing much more on my Vita, I found out that there's a spin-off game called DJ Max Technica, which is a bit like, Citus, if you know that, which is like a phone game. It's a bit like Citus, or like the main game, or the main part of Osu, or like Voice, if you know that. That's on Switch, where you touch circles on the touch screen. And it's the really interesting thing about Technica on the Vita is, first of all, it's like it's not going from top to bottom. or like the circles to tap on, they don't appear with like a number next to it or something, and you need to touch them by like a gauge around the note. But it's like the screen is like split screen horizontally, where it's like the upper part of the screen and the lower part, and then there's like a vertical line going from left to right, and then in the bottom part from right to left, and that's how you touch it. How you touch the circles. It's pretty interesting. Kind of, it's a bit difficult on the Vita because my thumbs, they barely reach to the middle of the screen, and yeah. But it's really cool that on the Vita there's like a specific gimmick where there's like a touch screen on the back of the Vita, and this is like the only rhythm game that I found out about that has like notes where you have to touch or hold the touch screen at the back, and it's pretty interesting. I can't see myself getting good at it, but it's cool. And then I played Taiko as usual, mainly on Switch, Drum and Fun, and I'm pretty much done with RPG 1 from the Rhythmic Adventure Pack, which, if you know anything about me, you know that I really like Taiko. Really, really glad for my friend to introducing me to Taiko 2 years ago. Yeah, and it's been raining. It's been raining so much, so I can't go outside. So I dusted off my old soft pad, my old soft Stepmania pad. And I want to get better at Stepmania 5, which is what I've been playing occasionally. Stepmania is really cool. It's fun. Whew. So, how's everyone doing? I'm not looking at chat yet. I don't know if anyone at all is like looking at me. Is looking at this live. But, whew, it's a bit exhausting to talk for so long. I'm not used to it. Alright, let's take a sip of my cold tea and then get to music. Okay, music I listened to in January 2021. I didn't listen to too much stuff that is like, I mean, you can check out everything I put in the outline. It's all worth listening to. But I'm really gonna like go through this as quickly as I can. So since I played, oh, I guess this is a bit part of the game section. I played some poppin' music, Portable, for a few more hours. That was fun. And I went down a rabbit hole, like looking at artists that did like rhythm game soundtracks of Bimani Games, which is the company who makes, what did they make? They make like Beatmania, which is the one with the buttons and the turntable on the side. They did DDR, which everyone knows about. They did pop music. They did Sound Vortex, which I really like. They made most of the most popular rhythm games. Let me check if I forgot something to like take a breather. Beatmania, Dance Dance Revolution, pop and music. They made stuff like Keyboard Mania, Jubeat, Reflect Beat, Sound Vortex, Beatstream, Musica, Nostalgia, Dance Rush. Those are the big ones. Yep. So mostly games that don't have console releases. Yeah, so I kind of went down a rabbit hole, and I went down like so there's two people that I found that piqued my interest. One of them is called ARM in all caps. Whose like real name is Yohei Kimura, and he made like so many. He's like also part of Iosis, if you know them, and they're like a Doujin Circle music group thing, and they made like a lot of the most popular Toho covers. Like if you ever see like these animated, a bit like goofy, very otaku culture-ish Toho music videos from like 5 to 10 years ago. They probably did it, like Kino's math class and I'm blanking on some of the names. They like did a bunch of like Eurobeat songs and stuff too. Like Marisa Stole the Precious Thing, and all that stuff. That's yeah. This guy that I found, he apparently was making a lot of music for these kind of things. Another one who I finally found out the composer for is, so there's this like fictional, like made up band that I've been listening to. It sounds a bit strange to say like made up band, but it's like a fictional idol band for the that was like made in house by the Bimani sound team. Like it's a band where like some voice actors sing the idols, and they have like made up character designs and personalities. It's like an anime girl band called Hinabita, or Hinabita. They're super cool. I love them so much. Like, a guy I followed on like Facebook or something, like way back. He was a fan of it through playing rhythm games, so I like looked into them and I instantly fell in love with them, because it's actually wild. Because that's the girls, I like, it's like so unexpected for like a corporate rhythm game thing to like have like a fictional band where they you like assume for them to make like stuff like Love Live Pop Idols stuff, like the usual, you know what's up with these. And it's wow. I'm like, one of the girls, there's like one girl that's super into shoegaze, and then there's another girl who is really into metal, but the songs that she sings are like acoustic solo pieces that are like super soft and gentle, and it's so creative and nice, and I love it. And they have like some traditional, like Japanese traditional J-pop kind of genre mix type thingies, songs. And yeah. And I got one step closer to finding more songs that are like idol metal. Like not exactly like baby metal, cause like baby metal and like what is the other one called with the big guy that does the screaming? I'm blanking on the name. Something made. Lady Baby and Bandmaid. Those are the two other ones. Yeah. They, like, these three bands, they kind of go hard on the gimmick and try to be like proper idols, kind of. So the music isn't super appealing, honestly. But like there's some songs, specifically some songs from Hinabita, and there's like one specific song that I found in like the in like the some like Beatmania 21 OST or something like that. It was like a song about like a Shinigami idol something. And the sound was super nice and catchy. And I'm really into that stuff. It's super difficult to describe. Like, I think the tagline of one of the Hinabita songs is like made metal. Like the genre description behind the song or whatever that I saw, which I couldn't find anything if I tried looking for that. So yeah. I found one of the composers for Hinabita. His name is Tomosuke Funaki, and apparently he also did like a lot of like rhythm game music, but more of like I was more interested in his stuff because it's like more like traditional band stuff. I think it was like part of doing the shoegaze bits. But I'm not too sure. Moving on from that, there's a band called No Name, no_name, as in like I know stuff. I know something. Apparently, like I a while back I talked with Stefan in chat, or my friend Graf, as he's also known as. We had an episode on Tokyo Dots on the Sketchy People channel for the Sick Jam Sundays music podcast thingy. And apparently one of the composers that composed... Wait. No, I'm messing stuff up from my outline. Or am I? Okay, let me get this straight. Okay. Tokyo Dots... The podcast is real. It did happen. I also listened to them this month, and their band that they did after Dots called Ray. Okay, so you weren't on it, but you were a co-host. So shit, I looked at chat. No, my primal instincts working against me once again. Okay. The point is, I listened to Tokyo Dots again this month. I love them so much. Very top tier shoegaze. So catchy. So nice. Okay. The band No Name. I found them because of this weird idol metal style of that research. I saw that they made a song for Idolmaster for Cinderella Girls Starlight Stage. It's called like Answer with like an upside down A. Which is it's pretty cool, pretty good song. But Idolmaster is pretty cool. But yeah. I found out that the composer of that track, he's in this band called No Name. And then I found that they did the soundtrack for an anime called Grimgar something. Everyone knows it as Grimgar, which is, I guess, a bit of in the vein of like Log Horizon and Goblin Slayer, maybe? It's like the same kind of anime fantasy world style. Game-inspired fantasy. But just a side note, I don't know why everyone hated on Grimgar. I thought it was great. But yeah, A thing about Grimgar that pretty much everyone agrees on is that the soundtrack was super solid. And that band did the soundtrack for that. And then they also did the soundtrack for an anime called Sakura Quest that I think was also pretty good. Sakura Quest was about like, so the premise is there's this girl, the main girl lives in Tokyo, and she cannot find a job at all. She's struggling to find a job, and then some weird phone number like messes up the phone number. Some weird guy messes up the phone number and thinks she's someone else, and then she basically gets roped into becoming an idol to like revive a weird rural Japanese village and do the marketing for them. And that was pretty fun stuff. So yeah, they did the soundtrack for that, and they did music for Dorohedoro, for the new anime adaptation of Dorohedoro, which is also pretty good, and I didn't expect that at all. So it's like a band. They worked on Idolmaster and Grimgar and Dorohedoro and Sakura Quest, and I there was no way I could have ever connected all these shows somehow, but it happened. Yeah. Don't have the date in my mind for the next thing on the list, but Kushi, I love her music so much. She does like ambient inspired electronic dance music with really nice. She has a super nice voice and stuff. Super good. She came out with a new album called Awaken without the A in the beginning, and it goes less ambient but more like dance beats, and it's great. It's great. On the album there's also a remix that Igloo Ghost did of one of the songs, and Igloo Ghost is another artist that I think is coming up with new music soonish, and I'm really excited for that. So yeah, Kushi, super good. Then I have Anya Katamari OST. Yeah, I mentioned that. Oh, anything that I forgot to mention at the games section, which is Weaboo Ribbon, which is a PS1 game that I also finally played. Oh, that soundtrack, I don't know how to describe it. It's like hyperpop. It's like if J-pop and hyperpop were like the Gurren Lagann robot that combined and had infinite amount of spirit and friendship power. It's so fucking cool and hype and nice and sparkly. I haven't looked into who did the soundtrack for Weaboo Ribbon yet, but I'm sure I'll mention it again next month. It's so amazing. Like this is gonna have a special place in my heart. I'm sure that I'm still gonna like love this more than anything in like 5 years from now. And yeah, Weaboo Ribbon is kind of like a game along the lines of Bit Trip Runner, where like you play it with 4 buttons. It generates like a linear level to the music. It's not really a rhythm game, but like, oh, there's like an obstacle, you press the button for the specific obstacle to progress through the song. And it's a nice audiovisual experience. It's so unique. I can't believe I haven't played this until now. Highly recommend Weaboo Ribbon. And I'm really scared to go on eBay and look for the game, because another super way ahead of its time feature of Weaboo Ribbon was that you can play, like, the game was so small on the PS1 that you could put in the game, and it was like basically like save the game in the PS1 RAM, and you could pull out the disc while the PS1 was on with the game on the PS1, and you could put in your own burned or like official audio CDs and play custom songs on Vibribbon. It's so charming and nice, and I really want a PS1 and that game now for that purpose. Okay. Paul Robinson came out with a new song. Really excited for his new album in a few months. Highly recommend Paul Robinson. Super good. Incredible art direction for everything he does, and especially his new project. Another thing I have on here, I listened to, I mentioned Classic quite earlier. Went back, listened to some Midwest emo type music. Two bands I want to shout out here are Swordfish and Palm Kite, because no one talks about them. They're really nice. Palm Kite is one of my favorites. I went back to them. Pretty cool. Yes. A friend of mine got me into these drum and bass, like bass music. YouTube mixes that also have really interesting visuals. They're called 2020, like spelled out with words, in 2 words, with letters and not numbers. I haven't checked a lot of them out, but they're pretty cool. They're really cool. And a good way to like find more interesting music outside of what I'm used to. And I don't know what happened, but I listened to Limp Bizkit, and I don't mind them. Limp Bizkit, pretty cool. I had a discussion about them with my friend Noodlebaum, I think. Or was someone else too? I don't remember exactly. But I appreciate them much more than Linkin Park. I don't have any nostalgia for Limp Bizkit, but it reminds me of me playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Need for Speed Underground. Gives me the same vibes. And I dig it, even though I don't care about like the cultural aspect and like what American music was like at the time and all that stuff, and what people connect that with politically and like commercially. And I have some stuff for the very end before I go talk to Chad, if anyone's still here. I spent too much time on SoundCloud, and I recorded a little podcast thingy on Hyperpop on the Sketch People account with Stefan and Ishmael, who I think are also here in chat. They're friends of mine. Yeah. Some really cool artists coming out of that scene. One of my favorites right now is Oak Screen. They do some more softer, more ambient stuff, but like still with super solid production and super nice melodies and everything. That was a really cool interview he gave a few days ago before this recording. That was super interesting. Then there's someone called Dylan with 2 N's. He's cool. Glaive, Glaiv. There's someone just called BH. He's really cool. Very, very interesting, like song structures and stuff. and Black Winter Wells, who I've been trying to get some of my friends to listen to. Their production has always been solid. They used to do like EDM and stuff, and like experimental electronic music under the name Drain Puppet. They're really good, and they have so much music. I can't believe how much music they have. So yeah, I mean, you can always go on my SoundCloud account and go through the reposts or likes on my account if you feel like looking through new music. Okay, that was that. That was my January this year. Wild, how much free time I got on my hands. So, everyone, what's up? Is anyone here? How you doing? How did I fare on the first one? Oh yeah, rip Sophie. Yeah, the news came in today that she died today. That's a bummer. I didn't even know of her until pretty recently. Graph is here. Hello. Whew. All right, let me go through the chat. Lynx was here. Ishmael was here. Mansion Skin was here. Asha was here. Noel Oracle was here. James was here. Hello. Annie was here. Bangpam was here. And I think that's everyone. Thank you for showing up. That means a lot. I'll try to market this as like a thing that people can like actually watch on its own after it's done streaming. I'm just streaming this because it's easy and I don't want to do too much editing and all that stuff. So yeah, I will try to get some practice in, like have my outline be a bit more sorted out next month so I don't jump around too much. It was kind of a bummer that I missed Vibro for the games section. That was really important to me. That's such a nice, cool, tiny game. So yeah, Graph and Lynx, you're still here. How did you like it? If anyone's still listening to this after the live stream, feel free to comment. Feel free to roast me in the comments. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I don't have too much to talk about. I haven't streamed any games in a while, so I don't know what I'm gonna stream. I can always stream Taiko. That's always fun. So we'll see. Want to hear more energy in your voice? You know, I kind of, when I was making this live 2D avatar that I'm also using on stream, I was kind of already like making the design knowing that I probably won't be super energetic and upbeat and happy sounding for most of the time. I read 11 chapters of Spy X Family while listening after you mentioned it. Whoa, that's cool. How do you like it? It's crazy how Oh, all the jokes just land, and it's so funny and wholesome. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. Um, I mean, I don't know what to do about the lack of energy in my voice. That's just how I speak. I have a feeling that charisma is not one of my strong points. Then I'm lacking charisma stat points. It's really fun. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. Let's see. How long has this been going for? I started streaming 100 minutes ago. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. This went smoother than I expected. I expected for me to be more anxious and more me stumbling over my words. But next time I will put some points into charisma next time you level up. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'll try to, but I can't promise anything. Would you redo your model if you leveled up your charisma points? I probably like. So the plan is to redo my model next time I feel like a big jump in my drawing skills. And then I'll probably like try to fit my model closer and not the other way around. So upgrade character design and model and drawing and expressiveness. And then try to match it in with my voice. That's the game plan. Yeah, next time I'll try to be a bit more ready. Try to have some more to drink except like one mug of tea for the entire like almost 2 hours. Yeah. So tell your friends. Tell your friends if I don't know. I don't know what to say. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I miss talking. Maybe I want to get some friends on this too, but maybe alcohol would help. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds. Yeah, I want to get some friends on this. Talk with friends. Maybe I'll do like a slight variation on the logo and do like a spin-off series that is like not at the end of the month, but like 2 weeks into the month. And then I'll just ramble with someone about random stuff, random games, random anime, you know, all the good stuff. So yeah, you can find if you want to, you can like find me on Twitter. I'll probably put the Discord I'm hosting with friends. It's Sketchy People Plaza. I'll put that in the description too. It's people hang out there. It's cool. You can share music. You can talk about anything. And yeah. hit the funny bell if you want to catch my game streams or whenever I upload new music. Maybe do draw streams. You can... I don't know. You can catch this show next month. In 1 month, you can catch it again. Probably I'm planning on doing this like 9 or 10 p.m. CET, Central East Europe time. Is that what it is? At the last Friday or Saturday of the month. That's when this is gonna happen. And yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being cool. I appreciate every single one of you. So I'm gonna cool down, play some more games, and then go to bed. Bye bye everyone. Thank you.